In a world where action movies are made, not all action movies are created equal. Only the best make it into the Action Movie Hall of Fame.
Knock, knock. Can you fly, Bobby?
There can be only one.
And action. Hi, I'm Matt Brandt.
And I'm Derek Bordelot. This week we're coming to you from an expandable 18-wheeler mobile command unit.
Every time you step out of this, it's going to be very dramatic. You can't just get out the door. No. It's got to like unfurl itself.
With steam.
Steam and lights. It's pretty cool, but if you just want to grab a drink, it's a little bit of overkill. Where was I? Welcome to the Action Movie Hall of Fame, where each episode we do a deep dive on an action movie. At the end, we have to decide, we have to agree whether or not it belongs in the Action Movie Hall of Fame. It's kind of a big deal. Now, it probably goes without saying, but there are going to be spoilers. Derek,
yes.
What movie could potentially be inducted into the hall this week?
This week's nominee is 1992's Universal Soldier.
Oh, excellent. Let's check it out.
By hyper-accelerating the bodies, we discovered that we could turn dead flesh into living tissue. But to make the process work, the bodies ran at dangerously high temperatures, needed to be constantly cooled, the brains sedated, controlled. Otherwise, it would eventually stroke.
That's Jerry Orbach describing how he turned ex-soldiers, ex-Vietnam soldiers, Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren into reanimated zombie special ops forces called Unisols in 1992's Universal Soldier.
Written and directed by Roland Emmerich, who's known for all of his disaster movies like Independence Day, The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, and most recently 2022's Moonfall.
Okay, say it with me. Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme as, I got just GR44, Dolph Lundgren as GR13, and Ali Walker as Veronica Roberts.
With a budget in 1992 of $23 million. So pretty small. Mm-hmm. And with a worldwide gross of only $36 million.
What? What?
It didn't make any money. It didn't make much money.
But what? But didn't people go see this in the theater? I thought this was a big movie. Apparently not. Critic score. I'm completely
you won't.
Off by this.
I don't think you will be in a minute.
Okay. Rotten Tomatoes score 35 from the critics audience. A little bit better, almost 50%.
Yeah.
With 46%.
Not quite.
Reminder: we are watching the movie as we talk about it. We get distracted. We're just human, and so we'll try to describe what we're seeing when it happens. And a reminder, please. This is us begging you. Please rate and review. It's some of you, and tell your friends about us, and then that way we can make these podcasts until the end of time.
That's right. And I just want to point out, actually, because we just passed 4,000 listeners, so just for the people who are listening, we appreciate it.
Seriously.
Thank you very much.
We
have fun doing this, and we hope you have fun listening to it, too.
Absolutely. Derek, last show, what was it, 2012?
Yeah.
10 years ago, Looper came out, and we rewatched it for the first time since we remember seeing it originally, and we both really liked it, so much so.
Yes.
We put it we put it into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations, Looper. Any final thoughts? Anything you wanted to kind of put a bow on with Looper?
It's just a really slick looking movie, and it's just a good sci-fi time travel movie. So yeah, definitely, if you haven't and you listen to the episode, check it out. It's really, really great.
Worth your time, and just one. We can't forget it. But we kind of forgot about it, and then we saw it.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we'll review it. It's been 10 years. Don't forget about this one.
Yeah,
go see it and show it to somebody. It's a good movie. Also, we kind of commented maybe Bruce Willis's last really good action movie.
That's right.
And so we're taking a little cut some time out here to talk about Bruce Willis for a minute. It was announced this week that he is retiring from acting because he has aphasia. Did I say that correctly?
I think so.
Okay.
That's how I would have said it.
Okay, so just general thoughts about Bruce Willis and this news, Derek.
Yeah, it got me thinking, because I was like, oh, it's sad. Of course, you don't want anybody to suffer from any mental issues. But then, I was thinking, I was like, I really like Bruce Willis. And then I just took a look at his Rotten Tomatoes page in his movies. I mean, this guy, he's not like, a lot of his movies aren't amazing, they're not highly regarded movies, but this guy's been in my life since 1988, and almost a movie every year, coming out every year that I saw.
Right.
It's not that he was in making movies. I watched them, right? 88, he had Die Hard, and then 89, Look Who's Talking, which as a kid, I loved that movie.
Right.
And then 90, Die Hard 2, 90, again, Look Who's Talking 2, and then 91, Hudson Hawk, 91, Last Boy Scout. Like, I mean, just over and again, these movies, some of them are got good reviews, some of them didn't. But I remember enjoying them. I remember loving Bruce Willis in them because he's got a swagger.
He does.
He's got a swagger, and and then in 94 he comes back with Pulp Fiction. I'm getting a little bit older, appreciating good movies a little bit more and stuff. So like, this guy has been in my life since I was 8 years old, and I just want to say thank you. Like, I mean, he entertained me for countless hours. And, I send thoughts and love to his family. And, best of luck. I wish him well. And thank you.
No, we had planned. I'm so glad it didn't happen. We had planned for a stretch there to review some of the most recent, just awfully reviewed Bruce Willis movies. And you had an interesting kind of thought before we started recording about maybe why he was doing those movies and some of the he might have been getting fed lines towards the end there. And so I'm glad we didn't, because those would not have aged very well.
Yeah.
And kind of explains why he was doing all those bad movies.
Yeah. Just movies where he literally had to be on set for like 2 days, and then it's done, and he gets paid, and he can take care of himself. So yeah, it makes sense to me.
It's funny because if you had no context, you would just think, Hollywood star just doesn't want to show up, wants to get paid.
Yeah.
He's just in it for the check. But this gives a real person kind of lens, which to look through everyone that we encounter in our lives. Just briefly, I mean, what I would say about Bruce Willis, I mean, I watched Die Hard fairly early. I don't think I saw it like when it first came out, but I saw it early enough when I was a kid that it had a huge impact on me. And just the everyman of the character was so huge.
So much more relatable.
So much more impactful. Like, other action stars like Arnold, he's not really getting hurt ever. You know what I mean? They're kind of just indestructible forces. To just have like a regular dude really stuck out to me, and just and of course like how influential that like Die Hard is, and what a huge role he played in that, obviously. And to the point, I mean, it was our very first episode. And because to me it's such an important movie, and I just love the movie so much, and I guess I'll probably cherish it a little more going forward. So thank you, Bruce Willis, for the movies. Our canned applause is not. It doesn't feel really appropriate, but it's the best we got.
It's the best we got. Yeah,
I got some other sounds which probably wouldn't be appropriate.
Lasers,
exactly. So we won't bother playing those right now, but we will get into our movie that we're doing this week. We transition seamlessly into Universal Soldier.
That's right.
I nailed it. Okay, Derek. So let's take a step back. Let's go back to the year. What is this?
1992.
1992. 30 years ago?
Yeah. 12-year-old me.
Darn it. And Universal Soldier came out. You wanted to see this. Like,
yes.
We were, like, last week we were trying to decide what movie to see. You said, we're doing Universal Soldier. Like, you were very adamant. Like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Why?
Because along with Bruce Willis movies, I grew up with Van Damme movies.
Okay.
Like, I think Bloodsport came out in 88, I think, as well. And I saw that when I was 8. And then Kickboxer and all these other movies came out. But this one was the one I was old enough to actually see, television commercials for it and get excited. Oh my God, Van Damme's got a movie with Dolph Lundgren from Rocky IV. This is amazing. So yeah, I was super excited about it, and I watched it. Me and my brothers watched it a bunch when it came out, and I haven't seen it in a really long time. So I was genuinely excited to watch it because I did think it was a good movie, and so I just wanted to take another look at it and see if it was worthy.
So you genuinely thought this was a good movie. Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Now, you had some information about the box
Well,
office.
I just think this is interesting to point out when we go back to 1992.
What was happening?
So in the weekend when July 10th weekend of 1992,
Yeah.
number 5 at the box office that weekend was Sister Act.
Okay.
Number 4.
Love it. Saw it.
Number 4. This is a great one. Batman Returns.
Okay.
Number 3, Boomerang. Number 2, Universal Soldier. And number 1, A League of Their Own. So like at the time, you got to think this movie came in second to a movie with Madonna and Tom Hanks, like 2 of the biggest stars in the world.
So that makes sense.
So
That
it
was a
makes
huge
sense.
movie at the
It was a
time.
huge movie. But like I said before, what did we say? The gross worldwide was 36 million. This Universal Soldier made 10 million in the first weekend.
And then just
And then
went
just-
off a cliff?
Yeah, because of
I actually just saw something go off the cliff on our screen here.
I mean, it's just one of those things where a movie, yeah, even if people are excited to go see it, the first weekend will be good, but then there's got to be just a massive drop off.
What
in
happened?
the second weekend?
That's insane. Because
What happened? People saw it.
They realized how bad it was.
I think that's what happened.
And they just kind of told everyone, like, don't do it.
Word of mouth.
Don't bother. Okay, that's insane. I'm gonna go back to like 2 days ago. Yeah, we're on a run of movies that I have not seen.
You saw Looper.
Oh yeah, I did see Looper.
You saw
Maybe
Batman
not a run.
Returns.
I feel like no, I hadn't seen Batman Returns.
Oh, that's right.
That's the thing. I feel a little bit of a fraud hosting an action movie podcast where I haven't seen a lot of these, but maybe it's good to bring the perspective of fresh eyes to,
Yeah.
like I'm bringing fresh eyes to Universal Soldier. You know what I mean?
I mean, somebody's got to.
It's me.
I mean, it only made 36 million, so you're
lot of
not
people
alone.
didn't-
You're
okay,
not alone.
That makes a lot of sense. No, I mean, so just upon my first watch of it, I think the big connection I made was like Roland Emmerich directed it.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a chance to talk about him specifically, but just, you know, we had reviewed Independence Day, didn't get in. Part of the problem for me was just the characters and the story and the dialogue, just bad. Watching here, you know, it's just it feels like chunks of movies put together, and
Yeah.
it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, not a real coherent story. Not only that, just I don't understand the motivations for any of these characters. What they do from scene to scene, like, doesn't necessarily jive with what they did the previous scene. Like and then randomly, Derek, we both watched Moonfall last night.
Yes.
Or at least
we
a
just-
good chunk of it. Both
Yeah.
of us fell asleep. Like, it's impossible. It's crazy that we just happened to watch the same. This is an unspoken thing.
Yeah.
We just revealed to each other before we started recording. We both started watching Moonfall, but it was very instructive because a lot of the same stuff, like, it feels like there's not a coherent story in that movie either.
No.
It's just like you're going from scene to scene. People are making really bad jokes that doesn't feel like real dialogue, and it's just they're all kind of the same.
The only point of
They're all the
his
same because they're all like not good.
The only point of the dialogue in most of his movies, and I've seen all like these shiny, end of the world movies, is it's just to get you to those big massive scenes, like right, like that's the only point of his dialogue is to, well, I can't, the whole 2 hours can't be the earth exploding and the moon falling, like that's
has to
basically
be some sort of human interaction.
Yeah, there has to be, but he doesn't care about any connection.
No.
He's directed 24 movies. And I know this isn't the be and all measure of everything. Only 2 are certified fresh.
That's insane.
And like they're both 68 and 62, and one of them is Independence Day. Like,
But most of them made a ton of money. or like enough money to keep.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, the box office. I'm looking at 2012. Box office was only 166 million. I assume it was pretty expensive to make, though. I don't know.
Huh.
But yeah, it's just
There's a reason these
there's a
keep being
desire.
made.
Yeah, there's definitely a market for disaster movies.
Maybe that's it.
But
maybe just like you need a disaster movie, you don't have to go like looking for the person. They're kind of just they're there. It's Roland Emmerich. You don't want them to be good. You couldn't want these to be good.
why do that?
I don't know. So help me out. What is the plot of this movie?
Soldiers killed in Vietnam are turned into super soldiers in a secret government program 20 odd years later, like 25 years later. Anyway, when two of the soldiers start to have flashbacks to the war, one tries to kill the other. Right? I mean,
that is it, right?
There's nothing else here. Like, and it's funny because, I mean, it's basically a story about PTSD, right? The Lundgren's character goes crazy. And suffers from...
Yes.
I mean, it's not talked about at all.
No.
At all. But that's what's happening. I mean, Lundgren's going crazy and wants to kill all the traitors and thinks everybody is a traitor.
Yes. So let's just transition seamlessly right into our steaks.
I'm not smelling much, I got to tell you, on this one.
Also, very little sizzle when it comes to our steaks here. A different kind of steaks, to be sure. What are the stakes in this movie? I mean, you kind of mentioned it in the plot. They're trying to kill each other.
But not even that's exaggerating. It's just Lundgren trying to kill Van Damme.
Absolutely.
And the woman.
And
Ronnie.
It's, it's interesting because the stakes are he's trying to kill Van Damme. What makes those stakes not work for me is that I don't care about Van Damme
at all.
Right?
Like, not even a little bit. And it's funny because this has the exact same stakes as Dredd.
Yeah.
You just want you don't want those two people to die.
Yeah. There's really no
but I
bigger
cared
issue.
about, Anderson and Dredd.
Yeah.
They had good chemistry. I know even with his helmet on, he was a better actor than both of these guys.
I mean, I think...
But that's it.
These are the two worst performances we've seen in all the movies we've watched.
Keanu Reeves in Point Break, maybe?
He's acting circles around these guys.
Okay.
He's surfing circles around these guys, okay? It's not even close. Like, this is truly awful.
It's so
acting.
wooden. It's so wooden. But yeah, if you're going to have a movie where the stakes are this small, we have to care about the characters. And, I mean, we don't.
And I don't even understand beyond that, like, where they're going. Like she seems to, for whatever reason, Ali Walker, God bless her, Veronica Roberts is trying to get...
Doing whatever she can.
And the plan becomes what? To get him back to his home, to his parents?
Well, they don't...
What do they want him for?
I don't know.
Well, like, you not just... I mean, I get you'd want your son home, but without explaining anything to them and just dropping him off, like, not even explaining the whole ice thing. Like,
yeah, like...
if you want to keep your son alive, by the way, you got to keep him on ice every now and then. Like, you have to explain some of what's happening.
Yeah,
you can't just be like, okay, he's in his right place now everything's fine. Like, I don't know what the plan was.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he could tell them that he needs ice because he told her, but...
Yeah,
where?
but
how did she get to his house?
He's a little short on details.
Yeah. I think
she needs to help out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But when did she find out where he lived?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, I didn't. I all of a sudden,
this is the thing. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense. Just like, okay, now he's at home. Maybe there was a way she found out, but
because they don't have the internet. So where did she? Do you know? Like, if
how
it was
did anyone find anything before the internet? I mean, really?
I mean, what did she look in a phone book? For Louisiana while they were in Nevada? I don't know, man. It's just...
And that would still be 25 years later. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
And why are these Vietnam soldiers, like, why couldn't they have been from a more recent conflict?
I wrote that down.
Like, I was 25...
Why 25 years?
So just the opening of this movie, it sets up what happened to these two in, like, Vietnam.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
in a better filmmaker's hand and better actors. So change everything. And this is a better scene because it's supposed to be dark. It's supposed to be emotional, but there is none of it.
No.
Right. Like the ear thing is super gross, but I'm just like, I don't know. It just doesn't, it doesn't have anything to pull you in.
Like there's such an emptiness in Jean-Claude Van Damme. And like they're saying the words.
Right.
There's no feeling behind what they're saying. They're just it's for us to understand again, like the plot without feeling the plot.
Yeah. It's just to get to action.
And I mean, and there's something here if it were done well. Like
That's what I've just said.
because,
I agree.
No, I'm agreeing with you because like the whole thing with the couple, the young couple
Yeah.
that he ends up shooting, and then he does throw a grenade at a woman too.
Yeah.
It's all pretty dark and should feel awful,
Should feel heavier. Like, yeah.
but just doesn't.
No.
Because it just kind of feels like a B movie off the bat because of the way these guys are acting.
Yeah. Yes.
And then they die, and then they're put
They
on
kill
ice.
each other, yeah.
And then they're found later. They're put on ice, seemingly to be put to use 25 years later. Apparently, there seemed to be a plan for them. I don't know.
Yeah, there seemed to be something because the guy, the army sergeant or colonel or whatever who showed up the next day said they were all MIA. We didn't find them, right? So there's some sort of government top secret thing happening. We're never told about it, so it doesn't matter. But
even the people in the movie, when they talk about it, they're like, well, we can't talk about it, though. Yeah. So it didn't leave us with a whole lot there to work with.
Cigarette. With nearly 30 hostages held inside the power station at the base of the structure, the gunmen claim that they will not release any of their prisoners until various of their comrades are released from federal penitentiaries across the United States.
Checkpoint 2, all clear.
Checkpoint 3, all clear.
Keep your eyes open.
So that's Veronica Roberts doing her
diligent
live TV
reporter.
hit. Showing up last second, but
it's like a pro.
But a pro.
Yeah.
Make no mistake. Explaining what's happening. There's a hostage situation at the dam.
Hoover Dam, I guess. It's in Nevada, so I'm guessing.
So this scene, I gotta say, starts out this movie very promising.
Yeah. Pretty cool, actually. The jumping in the water.
Well, the jumping in the water, he's like, it looks like they're just climbing up a rope, but just all upper arm strength.
Yeah.
Just using arms to climb up a rope. Pretty impressive.
And they swam like 4 miles in 10 minutes or something. Insane. Yeah.
And then I gotta say, actual like maybe the highlight of the film, running down the dam.
I mean, easily the highlight of the film, I would say. But yeah, it was really cool. Actually, I really like this whole, like the killing that all goes on here is actually really cool.
It's a good opening setup. They're deadly with pistols from a distance. Like that shouldn't be that easy. Those are precise headshots with pistols from a distance.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so fixated on that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It was pretty far.
I mean, they do the running thing down the wall. They're taking out. I mean, we also get because they have these like things over their eyes or one of their eyes. We get kind of these like these heat sink kind of images, almost reminiscent of the Predator. You know what I mean? Like
they were trying to make them seem like robots. Like it seemed to me because even the way they were acting, and maybe it could just be the way they act, but they were very wooden and robot-like, like in their mannerisms.
I didn't understand for a long time what was happening with like what they were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I could
thought-
understand why you wouldn't know that.
I was like, are they robots? Are they zombies? 100% they're zombies. Can we agree on that? Like before the show, you gave me a little pushback on the zombie thing, but I mean they're reanimated. They're undead.
I mean,
They
sure.
were dead. They died 25 years ago, and they've been brought back to life.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they're reanimated with a super soldier serum, I guess. But
so-
yeah, I guess sure we can go call them zombies. Why not?
I mean, if it's marketed as that, it might be better. Because
Zombie soldiers, yes.
even just like when Jean-Claude Van Damme was like turning his head and does like a blank stare, it's just empty. Like it's not even like
It's goofy.
he can't even not show emotion well. Really cool shot there following Jean-Claude Van Damme. He runs into, like, they get to the bottom of the dam. He opens the door and goes inside the dam, and the camera just follows him as he's running into the tunnel, and it looks really cool. Like, there's a momentum in the start of this movie, this scene, that feels like something big is happening, and it's a very promising start, I would say. Yeah, I just like the way this movie starts.
Yeah, no, it definitely kicks, because we're only we're 17 minutes in here. We had the dark Vietnam scene, and then this, like, you're right, this is a great scene. Although I love how their part 2 of the plan was just a giant maintenance worker walks down the hall.
It seems unnecessary. It seems like he could have just shot them.
Yeah,
I guess that maybe they were trying to do it without getting
they did
hostages shot. It is kind of clever, but
yeah, I guess it does get him
kind of silly.
It does get him behind them.
But
here's the other thing, though. So how come the guy? I don't understand why he's not dead.
Which guy?
The guy who just got shot by machine guns.
Oh, it doesn't make any sense.
You know what I mean?
He should be dead.
There's no consistency.
He should have to get reanimated, then come back.
There's no. It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Except unless just occurred to me, because I was thinking they're human. They had to breathe, but maybe they're zombies. If they're zombies,
they are zombies.
So I guess maybe it does make sense. Got to shoot him in the head, man. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll get to Dolph Lundgren's. Dolph Lundgren. Thank you. Nailed it. We'll get to his death a little bit later. Yeah, you know, it's fine. I mean, the problem with the opening scene and then this scene is that if the actors are different, it's a completely different movie, but it's already kind of bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, the opening scene, this scene, they're good, but the acting still makes it bad.
Right, exactly. It doesn't give you... The acting isn't good enough for us to care.
Exactly.
That's basically it. You can tell that this is all fake.
Taken out of it a bit, yeah.
And for this movie to be good, like, you know, to be considered really good, I would say all of the action had to be at least as good as what we just saw, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, and it would have to be a short movie and consistent, because if the acting is bad, you can't feel the stakes, so the action has to be turned up to 11. And this movie is just, the pacing is an action sequence and then slow and then an action, and the action's not mind-blowing, so none of it feels very exciting.
No. In fact, the next thing of consequence to talk about doesn't happen until much later. That's Dolph Lundgren chasing down Jean-Claude Van Damme and Veronica in the back of the prisoner transport.
Yeah.
You know, this scene, what I appreciated about it are like the wide shots.
Yes.
You know, just like helicopter shots, I'm going to say, of, you know, just, you know, we get a wide shot of buses, like big vehicles chasing each other down a highway. Good start. You know, good try.
I mean, I don't mind this. A lot of practical effects here. So, like, you seen the cop car going off the cliff, and when Dolph Lundgren pops out of the 18-wheeler and starts firing with the machine gun, this is the second time in the movie where he can't shoot below like 3 feet. All bullets have to be 3 feet above the ground or higher.
Yes.
Because as soon as you lay down, you're totally safe.
Yes.
Just stay on the ground. Dolph Lundgren cannot shoot that low.
It's not in his repertoire. He didn't do it when he was a soldier in Vietnam. He sure as heck isn't doing it now.
Do it now.
I mentioned the great wide shots, the bus going down the highway. Same with when they're eventually driving out onto the cannon. That looks really good.
The canyon?
The canyon.
Yeah, okay.
Cannon. They launch out of a cannon.
Really cool, actually.
Onto the canyon. No, it looks really good.
And I give a lot of props here to Veronica, when Lundgren's throwing the grenades in there. I mean, she doesn't hesitate, and she grabs them and throws them out. And I love how a small little thing, but when she throws them out the window, when they explode, they don't explode. They explode almost instantly outside the bus, like really close to the bus.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking Die Hard 2 here, seconds on a grenade.
Where you have like about 5 minutes
Yeah.
to gather up your grenades in a little sack.
Yeah. Just,
And dispose of
put them in a
the proper
sling.
way. Yeah.
So, no, this is a pretty cool scene. Yeah, you're right. Looking at this is really good.
There's also a good like shot where the two vehicles are kind of swirling around each other, kind of circling, and there's a shot looks like a helicopter shot like straight down over the top of them, which is just, I mean, it's like 3 seconds, but it is a cool different perspective. It gives a sense of the scale of what's happening, because I mean, really, that 18-wheeler thing is pretty cool. I think it's pretty imposing. It's almost got this like war rig kind of vibe to it.
I get like a Transformer type vibe. Like it's so big and dark and
and it does transform a little bit.
A little bit.
It transforms from a 18-wheeler into a mobile command unit. A lot of rooms going on in there. Like it took me a while to realize like, oh, they're all on that. That's the whole time.
There's no way that it. Although looking at it, it is really big.
That scientist like blew himself up. Well, I didn't even understand what that was all about. Like he blew himself up on the rig.
Yeah, by accident though. He didn't do it on purpose. He wanted the soldier to hold the grenade for 30 seconds. Then
but he held onto his like hand.
He grabbed his finger and he couldn't get it out.
That wasn't obvious. Like you would think.
Oh really?
You think you could get your finger out of there?
I would think you could,
especially in a life or death situation.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry that I just started thinking about that, because that thing's pretty sturdy. I mean, a grenade went off in there. A lot of stuff happened in there. Pretty dark place.
Yeah, a lot of people got killed in there.
Now the ending of this scene, or like how I thought it was kind of cool how it ended. Where
that's a really cool shot.
Yeah. That's the canyon.
Yeah.
My bad. So the bus gets flipped over, and then the rig is trying to like push it over the cliff. Jean-Claude Van Damme gets out. He starts shooting the other Unisol who is driving the rig. Dolph Lundgren is the passenger, and he goes to drive it over the cliff. But what Jean-Claude Van Damme does after he shoots the guy, Dolph Lundgren can't stop the vehicle from moving, so it just keeps driving over the top of the cliff. I gotta say, didn't actually think Dolph Lundgren was dead here. Just had a feeling.
I was going to ask you that.
I didn't. Mostly because I saw how much time was left in the movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was like, well,
because everybody else.
If the rest of this movie just her getting him back to his parents,
that's pretty lame.
Can't be. Like, cannot be. But it looks pretty good.
This looks like the same cliff that the Tremor.
All I could think about. Looks exactly like Tremors. Like, I can imagine this explosion actually just being like that weird orange red blood.
Yeah.
That came out of the. Yeah. It's great. Tremors. Now that was a movie.
Yeah, that was.
Some great acting performances in it. I have in my notes, first coherent scene in this movie. So like it feels like a scene that like made sense. It's like we understood what was happening.
Right.
There's a chase. There's a conclusion. There's an ending. It makes sense.
You're right. You're right. And all of it was, I mean, for an action movie, reasonable, right? Like it wasn't like them when they escaped from the hotel. How? How did they get out of it? It was completely surrounded. It makes no sense.
It's true. Like after everything that happened, they just like basically walked out the front door.
Yeah.
And we're just little things like that where we're supposed to like not notice.
Yeah,
it's like annoying.
The writing is taking us for granted. They're just like, just accept they got away.
And how do they get out of here? They get approached by a cop, Veronica, and I don't even know what to call him. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I just call him Van Damme.
She just like knocks out a cop. She is completely about this life at this point. Like, she's like, knock at the cop, get the key, steal the cop car.
Yeah,
let's go. Like
it's a little Born Identity kind of, right? Like he doesn't know anything. She's kind of helping him, but he helps her too. But she has a freak out in the car. Like, what is going on? Not unlike Marie in the Born Identity. But
and if I may, in both, I'm going to say poorly written female characters, why are they falling in love with these men?
Well, does she fall in love? She leaves him. Well, she was going to until she got...
In this movie?
Yeah, at the end.
I mean...
Like right now, she drops him off at his parents, and
have
then
you
she
not
was...
seen the way she's been looking at
Oh,
him?
well, yeah, of course. But, I mean...
She's dropping him. She's waiting for him to, like...
She knows... Like, she's smart enough to know that she's like, I got to go clear my name. I got a story here, and, you know... But yes,
she
yes,
clearly
there
wants
is...
him to, like... Don't... She wants him to say,
Yes.
don't go, or... To me, it's laid on really thick. Like, to me, it's like...
Yeah.
It's...
Well, she did it at the bus station. She didn't get on the bus to go to wherever she was supposed to go.
But
But
it's
yeah.
just like... But why? Why do you want to be involved with this?
I don't know. It's like it's the speed thing, like intense relationships or whatever Sandra Bullock said in that movie. I don't know, but I agree with you. Like I don't.
But she could, but in all those other examples, you can have a conversation with the person. There's no talking. Like there's, she knows that he's a zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's,
She wants to date
well,
this.
she wants. Maybe she just wants to help him, and it's not. I don't know why I'm defending this.
She wants to kiss the zombie, Derek. She wants to kiss the zombie.
Are you there? Exactly like you described it back in Why'd you come out here and join a little family reunion? I mean, what the hell are you waiting for, cowboy? Are you deaf?
So we got ourselves a good old home invasion happening here.
Yeah.
Dolph shows up.
Dolph.
He was dead. We thought he was dead.
Yeah.
I never really believed he was dead. Shows back up. So what I don't understand is the power goes out. Jean-Claude Van Damme is just standing in the house where we assume everyone was. Power goes out, and then seconds later he goes to look for his mom. Dolph's already got both of his parents hogtied.
Yeah.
How? Like in seconds? It doesn't make any sense.
We do at least see him grab Ronnie, the
Right.
reporter, right? But absolutely, like he is either Van Damme is the worst soldier ever. I mean, that's it. I mean, where else? Like, why were
But we see how long he's standing there. He's
It
just,
makes no sense.
the power goes out. He looks up, and then it doesn't make any sense.
Like
You wouldn't even
the
hear
only
them.
the only thing that would make sense is if somehow Lundgren was able to kidnap them with the lights on without them making a sound, bringing them outside, then cutting the power.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's just
It's insane. So these two get into a fight. It's mostly just should remind people that Dolph has injected himself with like a serum, like that makes him
more.
like 4 times or 400 times stronger than
whatever it is.
Whatever it is, yeah. So he's just bashing Jean-Claude Van Damme against his cop car about 1,000 times. He's throwing him into burns. He's just throwing him all over the place. It's a pretty and then I'm thinking like one thing that didn't make any sense to me earlier is the fight in the restaurant when we can't pay for any of the food, and he starts like beating people up.
Yeah.
What I thought was just like really instructive about this movie is that in that scene he starts just beating up these people in the restaurant using martial arts.
Yeah.
Now, we know that Jean-Claude Van Damme can do martial arts, but we don't know the character can. Like, there's nothing informing that he should be able to do all that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Except that all of a sudden, oh man, he's just doing martial arts. It feels completely misplaced, but it's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, so they're just showing it off. Like,
Yeah,
there's no,
yes, that's
there's no.
so true.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
there's
the
no.
character has no karate in its background.
He's a soldier from Vietnam.
Yeah.
That maybe he could do that, and it would make sense, but show us something earlier, or I don't know. It doesn't.
Did something happen in Vietnam? Like,
No.
There was a quick fight there, I think, but it wasn't like
It wasn't like
it
this.
wasn't like a kung fu fight
Yeah.
or anything.
Because just to the point, like, this is all just weird stuff stitched together. Because he's just like, let's make him do kung fu. And
It's so funny that you mentioned that because it never occurred to me because it's a Van Damme movie. Of
Exactly.
course he does karate.
yeah,
That's really funny.
but hard to believe him as yeah, as a real person.
And why does he have... I understand his mom is French in the movie, but his dad is 100% English. And he has a
make any
thicker accent than his mom does. It's just like, you could just make the dad French, right?
That's all you got to do.
That's all they had to do.
That's all you got to do.
Oh, man.
And so I had in my notes, like, how is there not kung fu happening in this final scene? Like, if this is the big final scene, and you have Jean-Claude Van Damme, then where's the kung fu? It does come later. So I was happy to see that it did come. Only because, I mean, if it's the final scene and you have Jean-Claude Van Damme, I assume there's going to be, you know,
some
martial
fighting.
arts is going to happen.
Yeah. But it's, I have to admit, as somebody who did love this movie as a kid, I was looking forward to this scene.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty big letdown. Although Dolph Lundgren's face right here after he throws the grenade, I don't know if you noticed this, but watch this. Watch his reaction.
I think I do.
It's pretty great. It doesn't work so well on an audio medium, so sorry.
We'll try to describe it. What's happening now, it's like basically a flashback to the very first scene where Dolph Lundgren is throwing a grenade
at a woman running away.
And now he's throwing it at her. And
now he celebrates.
Looking for the face.
It's so good.
Like he just threw a strike to win the World Series.
Exactly.
Just the look on his face. And the look on Van Damme. One of the few good parts of this movie is when this music, when he like looks up and there's the fire behind him.
That's so funny. I wrote it down. I was like, I think Matt's gonna... This is the one scene he will like in this movie.
Very Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
If I may. If you're ripping off that scene from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Then a bit of the kung fu happens.
But again, not much. Like you mentioned, most of this fight is just Dolph Lundgren beating the crap out of Van Damme. He throwing him against the barn until Van Damme gets his hands on the serum.
And if I may, the screams that he's making when he's getting thrown.
Van Damme?
Yeah. Like blood curdling.
Classic Van Damme.
Like crazy over the top.
Yeah.
Like his facial expressions when anything's happening to him. Like everything's over the top.
Everything, yes. So, but basically, why this is a bit of a letdown for me is I was looking for... I don't remember, obviously, every frame of this movie from when I was 12, 13, 14 years old. But I remember it being good.
Right.
But there's no fight here. It's one guy beating up another guy until the other guy gets the serum, and then it's him beating up the other guy.
Yes.
Like, there's no fight.
I'd say the only tension I felt here was how do you actually like kill Dolph Lundgren? Because clearly like regular kills don't work. Like it has to be something more. I was like, you either have to like actually like decapitate him, or like
Highlander
chop him up
style.
into 1,000 bits and pieces, which is actually what happens.
But I mean, how you say you were wondering that, but when you saw the tractor with all the spikes, you had to know what was going to happen. No, I mean,
I thought honestly, I didn't know.
Okay,
I was hoping.
I'm a little bit disappointed.
I was hoping.
Okay,
I was like, it'd be cool if he like actually ran that machine.
Yeah.
But I thought he was just gonna like shoot him in the head or something. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was gonna be like, because he had him at his mercy, and he could have just shot him in the head. But no, he went the extra mile, and we've got like chunks and chunks of him being spit out.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty gross, but also kind of like it felt like the right thing to do. Because it was the only way he wasn't going to come back.
Yeah. I mean, because he's a zombie.
Yeah.
I'm totally on Team Zombie now.
He's not like, thank you. He's not made of liquid nitrogen. He's not going to reform.
No.
He's just chunks of human.
Yeah.
You can't put that on ice and make it fix it. Well, maybe you can. I don't know how the technology works. Technology, not really well explained. We had Jerry Orbach at the beginning. I don't know if I believe any of...
He basically said, these guys died and we brought them back to life. They have to be cooled every now and then, or else they overheat.
Okay. It was ridiculous. I think the most ridiculous part of this whole last scene is that at the very end, Veronica and Jean-Claude Van Damme don't kiss. They simply hug. I found that surprising.
That's funny.
Because I felt like it was building up to at least a kiss. She never gets the kiss of the zombie.
Oh, they had a little... yeah.
Final thoughts on this scene, Derek. This is your big chance to put a bow on
I mean,
Universal Soldier.
We'll probably talk about it in best death, but this is a pretty great death. It's pretty awesome, actually. Him getting impaled on all the tractor things, the harvester. I don't know what that is. I don't farm. But when he comes back to life and he's dragging his eye towards one of the spikes, and then he breaks the arm. That was a good arm break. Very graphic.
Yeah.
It looked really gross, and then turns on the machine. I mean, this is just, it is, even though it is anticlimactic and not terribly exciting, the end is satisfying.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's our top 5. It's our chance to talk about some things we appreciated in the movie. Derek,
Okay. All right.
you're number 5.
Number 5. I just want to point out in a movie, and of course it's one of the most absurd movies, but the local authorities showed up, right?
Yeah, finally.
They showed up because that's why Van Damme and Ronnie were captured, is
Yeah.
the local authorities showed up and
Yeah.
did what they were actually supposed to do. So that's good.
All right, Derek. Did I give you the fanfare? I don't think I did.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah, first of all, just, when Ronnie's on the base after she follows the soldiers after the dam attack, she is so casual after sneaking on to a U.S. Army base, just taking pictures like, lady, you're crazy. Way too casual.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah. Okay, number 3.
She's just trying to get a scoop.
Well, she's got to save her career.
Number 3.
I love how in 1992, hacking the comms meant playing a tape recorder into a headset.
It's all it takes. It's all it takes.
It seems like it would work. Okay, number 2. The fact that Ronnie snuck onto an army base. Like, sneak is a strong word. She walked from her parked car onto a U.S. base. I know it wasn't a base, but it was still like a makeshift compound.
Yeah.
Like zero security for this black ops situation we got going on here.
Yeah, it was... completely agree. Complete agree.
All right.
Number 1.
Number 1. It's empty! It's empty! At the very end, when Dolph Lundgren is about to kill Ronnie and the gun ran out of bullets, I have to admit, my brother and I have been saying that since 1992. If something is empty, we still say, it's empty! So
right.
I had no choice but to put that number 1.
I get it. It's very personal to you. Of course, Universal Soldier. It's very personal to you. No surprise there. Derek, my number 5. Just the scene of them running down the dam. You know, that was just in a movie that may be short on great scenes and great dialogue. That stood out as something actually very cool.
It was pretty cool.
My number 4. Veronica Roberts showing up for her TV hit and getting the cigarette out of her mouth just as she goes live.
Yeah.
My number 3, I'm just going to say the human ear necklace that Dolph Lundgren is carrying around. Getting a lot of miles out of that thing. Yeah. Is it the same one he had in Vietnam, or did he make a fresh one?
No, he was
cutting
cutting. Yeah, he was cutting off people's ears.
Okay, I like that he's got his hobby that he sticks with.
Yeah,
good for you.
I'm all ears.
Number 2. I mean, number 2, the hotel room had a waterbed. Remember those things? I remember wanting one because I was like, waterbeds better than regular beds.
Yeah.
But maybe not the case.
I don't think so.
I think they turned out to be not good.
Yeah.
Or else they'd still be here. They're not around anymore. You can't get a waterbed, right?
I'm sure you can, but I wouldn't.
Like on a internet, an online.
Imagine buying a used waterbed. I don't know. It seems weird.
What would you rather do? Sleep on a used waterbed or watch this movie again? Quite a pause.
Actually, you know what? I'd sleep on a waterbed because I haven't been on one in a while. It'd be fun.
You touched on this. For my number 1, Veronica and Huey try to escape the military operation after she finds the reanimated body. They drive off in the car and it goes flying after they go about 20 feet. They do not get far.
Yeah.
As to her joke, but no, just comically just how quickly they start driving and immediately flip. Like, they drive 20 feet and then flip like 50.
Yeah.
It's impressive. I don't know if the math even works out there. I don't know if they got enough speed going in that 20 feet to go that high, but
not in, like, is it just me or the cars seem really old in this movie too? I don't know, man.
like it's like this was shot in Cuba or something.
Yeah, there was one like a 50s car, wasn't
Totally.
there? Yeah.
All right, that was our top 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I think we have to talk quickly, maybe not that quickly, maybe very quickly, about our villain in this movie.
Yeah.
You only knew the power of the dark side.
I'm a killer. I'm a murdering bastard. You know that?
I expect you to die.
So, some classic bad guys in our intro there to this segment. Where does Dolph Lundgren fall among the great bad guys of movie history? Action movie history.
Pretty far down. I mean, there's nothing to it. It's one note.
Yeah.
It's one note the whole movie. Kill the traitors, and apparently everybody's a traitor. That's it.
Yeah.
And there's no other emotion. Like, there's nothing.
What I find amazing, too, is, I don't know Roland Emmerich's directing style. I don't know how hard he is on the actors. But I'm guessing they did maybe at least 5 cuts of each line.
5 takes, yeah.
I think that's a pretty low bar to clear. Hard to believe that these were all the best. Or maybe it is easy to believe, but it's not good that he's picking the best and shots at all these, and this is what we got. Like, Dolph Lundgren, maybe not a great actor. Maybe coach him up a little bit. Same with my man here, Van Damme. So I don't know. He was just so over the top, so ridiculous. It was hard to take him seriously or find him scary.
Yeah, I thought he was having a little bit of fun in the supermarket scene. But even
probably should have been one of our top 5s, to be honest, because he is just going.
Yeah, he's going.
All out, but I don't even understand why those people are still there.
Why are they there?
They're just standing around watching.
A guy walked in dragging what we presume to be dead zombies. He's dragging zombies, and he throws them into the meat locker, and you're just gonna hang out?
Unless you've been watching every one of Veronica Roberts' reports, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, that was so silly.
Like, he's got an audience for this for some reason. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, no, he's just a one note, and I don't know. You want him dead, but it's like, whatever.
Totally. All right, let's talk about best death.
Yes.
Lots of nominees. Dolph Lundgren, obviously, we just talked about him.
Yeah.
Huey the cameraman, kind of shocking. He just gets executed right next to Veronica, and she freaks out, rightfully so. The no-name Unisols, when the gas station explodes, they're just kind of like, a bunch of them just like burning.
Fire. I love how they just barged in there and started shooting.
Poor Garth. Can I say poor Garth? When he went to try to kind of take out Dolph from the inside.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, he gets caught. I liked Garth. He was a good guy. And then the other one I have is the Colonel, who just gets shot again by Dolph kind of out of nowhere.
I got
a little bit shocking.
Yeah,
I probably missed a bunch
in the eye. Well, yeah. So Garth got the needle through the face, which was pretty good. But then another lab assistant, like Dolph Lundgren, just grabbed his face and twisted him. The broken neck at the bottom of the dam when Dolph Lundgren, like the way that guy looked like a rag doll. That was pretty great.
Yeah.
And then the other one I have, which actually I wouldn't say is a nominee, but the other Unisol that Van Damme shoots in the face a bunch of times. That was pretty cool. Like on the 18-wheeler,
right on.
When he's on the hood. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But for me, I'm going to go with Lundgren on the tractor. Like,
right on.
The chunks being spit out of the back of it.
Pretty nasty.
Just a nice little, cherry on the top there.
I'm gonna go with Huey, the cameraman. I've actually
Shock
found it
value?
a little shocking. Yeah, I was like, oh, just straight up execution.
I actually really enjoy that we talk about the best death in a movie.
Seems like we should.
It's just because there is ones like that that I was used to it, so I don't know. I didn't find it that shocking.
Right.
But I can understand from that point of view and be like, damn,
This is
I mean,
why.
that
That's
was-
why I'm here. Fresh eyes on
telling you,
Universal
I'm
Soldier.
telling
It's
you.
important.
Is that all you got, huh?
Is that all you got?
Is that all you got?
Is that all you got?
Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Is that all you got? Is that all you got?
Best scene, Derek. Universal Soldier. You
Yeah.
can only pick one.
Can only pick. I mean,
What's your favorite scene in this movie?
surprisingly, I actually think a pretty damn good scene. The whole thing when they drop the soldiers off into the reservoir, the climbing of the dam, the rappelling down, and the attack, like the shooting and the neck breaking. I actually think it's a pretty damn good action scene, and so that's for me. That's my favorite scene of this movie.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We'll take that. My favorite scene, I gotta be honest, I'm gonna throw a complete curveball at you.
Here we go.
So, when Dolph shoots the colonel, and he's kind of like, he's basically taking control of this unit, there's a couple, I think a couple scientists, maybe a guard or another, or just a army guy. They kind of like try to stop him, and they get kind of eliminated quickly, and then we realize there's only like a couple scientists left, and
Yeah.
they're kind of like, oh, we have to do what he says or we're gonna be dead.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what is their plan at this point? Like, these scientists, like, what are they gonna do now? Like, how do you get out of this? They try to devise a plan, Garth and the other scientists with the glasses, to get out of there, and they try to like get Dolph to go into his sedative
Hypersleep or whatever
it is, yeah. And then, you know, Garth is like, no, he volunteers to go in and give him his sedative or whatever, and it's like, it was my favorite scene because it slows down for a minute, and it actually was the one time I felt like tension.
A little bit of tension,
Because, I mean, listen, we already talked about Dolph Lundgren and how bad he is, but you also know, but the character himself is ruthless.
Very.
He's going to do
dangerous,
whatever, and, you know, I just really liked the Garth character quite a bit. He was quite friendly, and maybe one of the only two acting performances in this entire movie.
Yeah.
And so when he was killed, it was like, oh, it was really a letdown. And it was actually a little scary when he went in, because I was like, I actually thought, well, they're not going to kill Garth, because he was like, to me, he was like a nice, fun character that could have done something big at the end to save the day.
He was
or
a
to help
good
save
guy
the
in
day.
the chair.
He was a good guy in the chair, and then he was just killed, and that was the end of it. So, total curveball, but I did enjoy the tension there, and that was my
That's
favorite
funny.
scene.
Interesting.
I can sense your disappointment. All right, let's get into our verdict. Oh man, that music's tense. Derek, Universal Soldier.
Yeah, that is tense music, but I don't know if it has to be, because
Go
I
on.
think based on what we've said, yeah, this movie just doesn't have a lot going for it. Like, for a movie where you don't really care about the characters, the action has to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I think the dam scene is really great, but it's not amazing. And Dolph Lundgren and the chase on the cliffside and Dolph Lundgren dying at the end is all good, but not good enough. I mean, this movie, like, to your point just now, like, there's zero tension.
Yeah.
Zero tension. And, but yeah, for me, obviously, it's an easy no. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest. I wanted this movie to be good, just for my childhood, but it's not.
I'm glad that part of your childhood can move on.
Yeah.
I will say, like, yeah, I'm a no.
Yeah.
This probably goes without saying, but I do want to point out something I couldn't stop thinking about while I was watching this movie, is that this came out, what, a year after Terminator 2?
Yeah.
This feels like a response to Terminator 2, like an attempt to get onto that. A lot of this is the same in, like, for example, the way that Jean-Claude Van Damme is acting, that blankness, that trying to kind of be a robot, but still have some sort of humanity, doesn't do it at all.
No.
And to that point, again, we've talked about Arnold Schwarzenegger before. Not a great actor, but he is bringing something to that role, right? Because it's kind of the same thing, and Jean-Claude Van Damme can't approximate it in a way that works.
But there is also the problem. the addition, like for Terminator 2, the relationship between Schwarzenegger, Edward Furlong, Linda Hamilton and Schwarzenegger, like that dynamic is so much
real relationships
exactly
that matter. Yeah.
Exactly. This is just, I mean, the reporter Ronnie, she seems great, but I mean, I don't care. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And this is the thing, like, it's trying to do that without putting in any of the work. Like, it just
fair enough. Yeah.
It's a very faint carbon copy of a much, much better movie. Even just when I Googled Universal Soldier, the poster that pops up reminds me of like one of the old Terminator posters, like
the blue and red one.
Like it's stealing from this but not doing a good job of it. It's a bad version. Even like the scene where he's in the restaurant, he's beating everyone up. That's no different than when Arnold goes into the bar. It's like a lot of the same. It's hitting a lot of the same beats, but much just worse done, and the jokes don't land. You know, like there's no fun in a way that is fun on purpose. Most of it's fun or funny for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big no.
Yeah, and also like we did mention it, but the story in those other movies is so much better. This is one guy is going crazy. That's it. That's the story, and he wants to kill his old teammate.
And a reporter in love with a zombie is trying desperately to get him back to his parents who have no idea how to handle him. Is that the plot?
Evidently.
I'm just going to add that little addendum onto the plot there. Okay, Derek, that's it. We did it. Okay, that's a wrap on this week's episode of the Action Movie Hall of Fame. You can visit us on Twitter at ActionMovieHOF or at ActionMovieHallOfFame.com.
And don't forget to rate and review this podcast. Tell your friends and reach out on Twitter and let us know some movies that you'd think you'd like us to review, and we'll probably do them.
Exactly. We're open to suggestions. And don't forget to rate and review this podcast. Derek, you just told everyone to do that. I'm repeating. Also, listen, we'll make sure the start of your week is always action-packed with a new episode out every Monday. Derek, what should everyone prepare? What should everyone watch for next week's episode?
Oh man, another oldie, 1997's Con Air.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I actually had forgotten what we were doing, so that's exciting. All right, until next time, keep fit and have fun.
Thank you.
Happy trails, Hans.
Anara. Court's adjourned.
Get off my plane.
Hasta la vista, baby.